And record is on, so we know that we'll be able to record this, and Bianca's going to post this later so that you can follow up and have future copies of the wonderful two blondes from the salon owner, whose mission in life is to
get salon owners profitable fast.
Absolutely. I mean, why have a business or go to work if we're not going to make money?
This is true.
Doesn't matter. We love our jobs, right?
Even if you love it, you need to be compensated for what you do. And the unfortunate statistic in our industry is that only 5% are truly profitable. So we're here on a personal mission to make sure that you are profitable.
You got it. All right. Let's get cracking. Oh, by the way, these are the two blondes, and I keep saying we've got to get new pictures done.
We're too busy.
I think so.
When we can find the time, not only do we have the profitable salon owner, but as you'll hear during the presentation today, we never like to sit still. So we're on to a new adventure.
Right. Which actually brings us to this week's topic, which is marketing for Cheapskate. Because you and I started a new business venture over the last couple months, and of course, being the marketing enthusiasts that we are,
yes, we are.
And also the cheapskates that we are, we've been putting into practice all the things that we're going to talk about today. So we know for what we speak.
Yes, we do. So let's get started. What is marketing for Cheapskate?
Well, basically what we really want to do is promote our business with as little financial outlay as possible.
Absolutely.
Because, without the customers and the clients coming into our space, we don't really have a business.
No, we have a space.
You got it.
That's not profitable.
Exactly. So how are we going to get out there without spending an absolute fortune on advertising, et cetera, and make it work and draw people in?
That's right. So here's things that we're going to talk about today, things that we have been utilizing to grow the business. So we have networking. We're going to talk about joint ventures and how to do them and what that's like. We're going to talk about newsletters, which really still are a great way to market to people.
They are.
Videos, how you can best utilize videos. I'm going to talk a little bit about social media as well. There's so many different ways that you can promote your business without spending a fortune. I'm not going to spend any money, but you don't have to spend a fortune. And this is what we're going to touch on today. How do we do this?
How do we market without a huge amount of investment? Okay. With a minimal investment. Minimal. All right. The next slide I think is so interesting. I see our businesses as parking lot sales.
You talk about that all the time, Aileen.
And what I mean by parking lot sales, when you're like a sales rep selling products, you go from business to business, and you walk into other people's doors and you present them a product and ask for an order, right? So it's really easy. You go out to the customer to get them. But we're sitting in buildings, right? Waiting for people to come to us. So I always call it parking lot sales. We're parked in one spot.
Yeah. But, really, when you think about it, we've kind of been conditioned to think that way because, the old adage is build it and they will come.
Mm-hmm.
Well, where the heck is it going to come from? Well, if they don't know about you.
Exactly. And that's been the big disconnect that's happening in our industry, is because in the last century, in the old days, Catherine.
Oh, yeah. Right, Aileen.
I was thinking that, don't you?
We've been around for so long.
Yeah, But in the last century, seriously, you didn't have to do a heck of a lot of marketing or advertising to get people out to your salon. People were just coming in. And that, unfortunately, has changed drastically. If we're not marketing now, we don't have a business. So, it means that we're all having to step outside our comfort zone to create a whole new facet of our business.
Absolutely. And you know what? It doesn't matter if you are one person working by yourself or a salon owner who has multiple employees or multiple locations. This applies to everyone. And we'll tell the story, Sophia.
Yes, which is just such a great.
In our next segment, there's so many great stories about how you can go out there and promote yourself. So, are you practicing parking lot sales? That's our question.
Exactly.
And be honest with yourself. Do you go into work every day and just sit there and then bemoan the fact that you have spaces, or you're not
coming in,
you're not
clients,
you're not as busy as you want to be? Get out of your space. Sometimes you have to take time and go out to promote yourself.
You got it. And I got to say, Kath, you've always had a motto that I say is something that we need to train every single business in our industry, and that is ABM, always be marketing.
Yeah.
That's been mandate. And, look at the success that it's brought you because you focus on the marketing aspect of business.
Well, it's a constant, every single time you have the opportunity to market your business. And so many of us are so afraid to do that. Oh my goodness, I wouldn't want to be pushy. Oh my goodness, I wouldn't want to turn somebody off by talking about what it is that I do. But if you're enthusiastic about what it is they do, it will come across to people. And
this is your passion.
Yeah, and I'm going to talk a little bit about that when we, talk about networking and how to get out there and do that, because Aileen and I have been doing a lot of networking.
Have
recently.
We ever?
So a little bit about it, how you may go about it,
and what we found out there, because this has been a wonderful experience for us in putting together a brand new business and a brand new concept, because it has shown us, how to do things at grassroots level.
Yeah,
that we can now pass on to you.
Yeah, and I've practiced that for years because I've had my own salon business for, since I was 27 years old. But I'll tell you, every year I learn, and I'm learning still. So don't think you've ever arrived, because
you haven't.
It's a journey. Yeah. Okay, so move on. So networking. How can we go out and network ourselves without spending a lot of money?
Right. Well, one of the first things that we did, Kath, is we actually, got online and looked at meetups.
Yes, we did.
To find out locally what's going on in our community in way of meetups, like particularly like business meetups. So, and it was amazing the number of meetups that there are.
Yeah, and we actually went. The very first one we went to was Women in Business.
Yeah.
And it was 7:30 in the morning. Was that 7:30? Yeah. 7:30 in the morning, which was pretty early, but never mind. We got up and it was really interesting because women from all different types of business there, but we made one fabulous connection there.
Oh my goodness.
She has made it her mission to introduce us to lots of other people.
So, and we've been following up on that. So, and there's lots of these meetups that you can actually join. But one of her recommendations to us was to get out there, go to as many of these meetups as possible, go maybe a couple times, and then find the ones that we think will be a best fit for our business, and then consistently work with them to build your networking.
Absolutely. And one of the most important things when you go to these meetups, you want to look the part. We are in the beauty industry. Look like you're in the beauty industry, even at 7:30 in the morning.
You got it.
Because it was really interesting. There was this lady that we met who kind of honed in on us. She had the reason she was so interested. She wanted to meet us because she said, you walked into that room, you were in charge, you were dressed. She said, whatever it was that you were doing, I wanted to get to know who you were.
Yeah.
And that's what you need to do.
And two bronze rock.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And well, her head is so big, I have to scratch it from over here. But that's all right. But, just present yourself well. I think that's my message. Present yourself well. It doesn't matter where you go. And be enthusiastic about who you are and what you do.
Right. And when you're going, make sure that you're prepared. Take enough business cards that you can share it with a whole bunch of people, and have what we call your elevator speech ready.
Yes.
Because usually at these meetups, you get at least one opportunity to talk about who you are and what it is that you're doing, why you're there. So what you want to do is practice and work yourself out a little script that does exactly that, and just sort of memorize it so that every time you go to a meetup, you're going to say, you know, my name is such and such, this is where I am, this is what I specialize in, or whatever it is.
Yeah, and really think about, don't just stand up there and say, I'm a hairdresser.
No.
That is not what, you know, I have a hairdressing business. That's not really what you want to say. I am a specialist in boom, you know, and really target your market. Think about what it is that you love to do, right? So if you love doing curly hair, say, I am a curly hair specialist. If you cut fine and thinning hair that, you know, in an unbelievable way, say it. I specialize in thinning hair. You know, so whatever it is that you're doing, or if you're a colorist or whatever, that's the niche that you want to be focused on, or the part of your business that you want to focus on. Absolutely. So there's one to start with. Really, all it costs you is a cup of coffee and maybe a muffin.
Yeah.
You know, in the morning. So that's a great way to go. There's lots, if it's men, women, there's lots of business owner meetups there. Just make a connection. The other thing that I'm really big on is I think we should belong to our local Chamber of Commerce.
I think so too. You know, and anyone have always been so surprised at this, because the Chamber, we're not unfamiliar with the Chamber, but the Chamber surprisingly does not have, our local one anyways, does not have a lot of salon owners, spa owners, or stylists as members. And yet, usually there's thousands of other businesses involved in the Chamber, you know, and what an unbelievable way to connect with your community and it is that you do. Because here's the one thing that we find about all of these things that we're networking, that we're talking about, people will support the people that they know and the people in their circle. You think about your circle of influence. So it's amazing what this can do for you.
Absolutely. And, you know, it's going to cost you a little bit of money to join the church.
Yep.
But, you know, you really weigh up. Is it going to, you know, is it $400? I think ours was $400 for the year, Aileen.
Yeah, I mean,
when you break that down, that's not a lot, because they do a lot of different things throughout the month, every month. And,
exactly.
You know, and they promote
seminars and, I mean, it's just such a great place to go. And you know what? You'll have fun. Oh my gosh, fun. Doing business.
Fun is the operative word. And often they have a great group insurance plan.
That's true. And they put on training, you know, all sorts of things to help you build your business. So we love the fact that they got a insurance thing and a medical thing. Right? Yeah.
I think that works for us, and I think, you know, for any of you, that could definitely work. Leads clubs, and I have belonged to leads clubs off and on throughout my business life. And when I was going to go from a very small business, well, not when I say a very small business, like 2,000 square feet to 6,500 square feet, I was growing substantially. I joined a leads club.
And
Great idea. I did it before I made, you know, the leap. It was so great because I met people that could help me with my build out. They promoted me. You know, I met the designer that I worked with at the Leads Club, and they made it, they number one came and supported me, but they, you know, sent other people. They bought gift certificates for their staff. They did so many different things. It was a commitment for me of a lunch once a week.
It's fantastic. And the other great thing about Leads Clubs is it's also a great place to perhaps find new employees, to find out what other people are doing, their businesses. It is a business education in itself. It's phenomenal.
Yeah, and we're not saying you should do every one of these. We're just giving you a well-rounded overview of what's out there that you can go and look for. How many women's groups, business owners networks? I mean, not just women's, but a lot of women do have business women's groups. We're going to one tonight.
Yes, exactly.
Called Chicks at 6.
Yeah, I like that. Sounds like a glass of wine involved in that one.
I like that even better. Better than 7:30 in the morning. So you check out small business owner networks. You know, even just go to a meeting. If you think it's for you, then you can go back. Keep going, right? You know, find the people that are going to support you, but also find the people you want to support too, because it ends up being a two-way street, and it is phenomenally effective. That's the word I want. Again, it's just getting out and meeting people, because you could easily spend $500 or $600 on an ad.
Yes, exactly.
You know, in a newspaper or
right?
You know, wherever, you could spend $500 or $600 easily on one-shot ad. And I'll tell you, going to one of these networking events, you could probably get more return investment than you can from some of those ads.
Yeah, and one of the things that we really need to look at from a marketing point of view is, what is the industry cost in bringing a new client into a salon? And you have to, because there is a cost involved, right? What is the industry average?
Well, it sits at $80 to $100.
Right. So if you think, okay, I can bring in one new client for a $5 muffin, hey, are we not ahead of the game here? What? I love the concept.
Yeah. But again, you have to come across as enthusiastic. I was just reading a newsletter from Dan Kennedy, who's a big marketing guru. And his front page article was all about enthusiasm. Because if you are not enthusiastic for your business, it will never be as successful as those people who are always enthusiastic. You know, they're really charged up about what it is that they do, tell people about it, and they're authentic. They come across as authentic. You know, we tend to be, and I've seen it so many times, we tend to be so reticent about going forward and telling people what we do and what we're good at.
It's so true. We see this over and over again, because we often see that stylists don't necessarily, how do I say this without sounding really rude, but don't necessarily see the value of what it is that they bring to the table. And, you know, I always want to tell stylists that, you know, are your clients' hair and beauty doctor, or the ones that make them beautiful, help them with their self-image and self-esteem. Why are we not rejoicing in that? Because we bring such gifts to the table. And remember that in lots of cases, you could be the only person out there that's touching someone. So we have to stand up and be enthusiastic about who we are and what it is that we do.
Yeah,
we are the beauty people.
And one of the reasons Aileen and I felt strongly about doing this webinar is because we have been out there, because we have been doing so much networking, and because we have seen virtually no stylists or salon owners out there at all. We really feel that it's an opportunity waiting for somebody that's willing to step out there and do these things and understand the value of getting out of your space.
Right. And that actually brings us to the eWomen Network because of Sophia.
Yeah, the only one that we have seen, and we have been to quite a few in the last couple of months, the only stylist that we saw, not even a business owner, she is a stylist. And Aileen, I'll let you tell the story.
Well, we went to this eWomen's Network dinner, and there was about 100 women there, all professional. I mean, it was quite an eclectic mix of women from every single walk of life. There were medical doctors, real estate agents, jewelry designers, interior designers, financial people. I mean, it was a very, very eclectic mix. And at one point, everybody got sort of their 2 minutes to say, you know, what it is they're doing. And this young woman stands up and gives her little spiel about who she is and where she works and what her passion is. And I tell you, she was so enthusiastic and she was so beautifully turned out. Kath and I looked at at each other. We had to go over and meet her after this meeting, right? Because the only one in the beauty industry in this entire place, there wasn't even a spa there, right? And so we went over afterwards and got to talk of our life, actually, because we went over to tell her how delighted we were that she was there and how wonderful that she was out there promoting herself. And she looked at us and says, "Are you two blondes?" She wanted to subscribers. I read your letter every single week. Well, we were just so tickled pink. It was really fun, wasn't it?
It was, yeah. She made us feel like rock stars for a moment. It was pretty good. But, here's the thing. She works for somebody else.
Exactly. That was the interesting thing. But she's not waiting for that salon owner to bring her client. She's there getting them.
Yeah. And eWomen Network, it is not cheap. It's pricey.
It is. It's probably the most expensive one that we've run into.
Yeah.
But it's continent wide. So you'll probably find an eWomen Network, somewhere in your vicinity. If you're a woman, sorry guys.
And one of the things that we talked to Sophia about was, this is not, one of the most intensive networking clubs that we've come to, because their commitment to join, and their dinners I found were quite expensive.
They were.
However, I said, have you found that this has been beneficial? And she said, I'm building my client from this club, and the women in it have been so helpful to me. So again, step outside your box.
And even though, like it's not necessarily just exactly the right thing for us, we've actually gotten a lot of contacts out of that particular meeting.
That one.
And connections that we've been passed on to. So it is all worth the time and effort.
So look around. There's lots of different places to go to start networking. The biggest thing is to make a commitment to try. If I were you, the meetups would be my first one that I would go to, and then I would consider the chamber for sure.
Absolutely. And just to look around, you're going to be blown away by how much is available out there for you.
Okay. So what is it we do when we go out there?
We build relationships.
That's what we do all day, every day, behind your chair, in your room. We build relationships. It's nothing more. That's what we're doing when we go out to network. We're out there building relationships. And guess what? We're already good at that.
And here's the most important thing you need to understand is that people do business with people they have relationships with.
And they do business with people they like.
Exactly. And they like us, don't they, Kat?
I hope so. I hope you guys like us. But building relationships, that's how you want to think of it. That's all it is. Just a different way maybe to do it. Now, the other one I want to talk to, and I use this a lot in my own salon business over the years. I've used this a lot. So joint ventures. And I consider that, if I'm a salon with no spa business attached to it, then I'm going to align myself with a spa. If I'm a spa with no salon business, I'm going to align myself with a salon so that we can share clients and we can cross-promote to each other's clients.
Okay, so maybe just back up one little here, Kathy, and give us a bigger picture of what you see as a joint venture. What's an overall definition for a joint venture?
Well, it's when two complementary businesses get together and promote each other within their space. So now you're not just promoting yourself in your own space, but you're joining up with another business and they're promoting you as well. And there's lots of different ways to be able to do that.
Oh, absolutely.
So, for instance, if you're a salon and there's a spa in your area that you team up with, then you're going to get together and you're going to figure out what it is that you're going to work with. And the easiest one is to give gift vouchers that they can give away to their clients to come over and see you.
Exactly.
And vice versa.
Exactly.
You can do contests, but the easiest one is just to give maybe a $25 gift voucher. Here you go, I really recommend this spa for you
or salon, whatever it is. Yeah.
So that's a great way to do it. But then again, you're doubling up your client base.
Again, if you can bring in a new client for $25, you are well below the industry average. So that's what I want you to think about. Not the $25 you have to put out for it, but the fact that you aren't spending $80 to $100 to bring in a new client. You're only spending $25.
Yeah. And, there's just so many different ways to do it. And think about this. If you get a client for $25 and that client, we'll use a color client, and that client brings you in $1,000 in the year. So how much it costs you? $25, bring that client in the door, and that client can return you $1,000 for the year. Do you think that's good return on investment?
Holy smoly. And it's not just $1,000. Often, then, if you're good, they recommend you to other people and you get all the referrals out of that as well. So your $25 investment is phenomenal. But of course, let's face it, that only works too is if you are making sure that you're inviting your clients back after they've been in your salon for their initial visit.
Yeah.
Okay, so should I rant and rave or should we save that for another webinar?
Well, we can save that for another webinar, but we do have webinars. They're listed in Vagaro. They have them all up there, and it's about keeping in touch with your client.
You got it.
Because no point in bringing in a client if you're not going to keep in touch with them.
You got it. Why waste your $25? Make it work for you.
Yeah. And so just some ideas for joint ventures. And put your hat on and think about who's in your neighborhood. So florists, joint promotions with florists, particularly around Valentine's Day, but it doesn't have to be at Valentine's Day. Again, you're giving them added value to give to their clients.
Exactly. So it makes perfect sense. And when you're giving out gift certificates from them to pass on to your clients, you're also giving your clients a great add-on service, right?
So, you could give the florist, again, a $20 or $25 gift voucher to send out with bouquets.
Yeah.
And then you can turn around and say to the florist, I would love to do a promotion to my clients. I would love to give all the ladies flowers when they come in as a sign of appreciation. So you work out a deal where you think about different ways to utilize each other's businesses. That's what we're all about. Love work with high-end boutiques too.
Oh, yes. Don't you? Because who's the number one client in a high-end boutique?
Stylist.
Yeah, you got it.
So, we love to partner with boutiques. Again, figure out ways to be able to do it. Whether it's sometimes it's just putting a box on their counter if you do a contest.
Yes.
To get in.
Yeah. And the thing is that you are also then going to promote the boutique in your space, right? So everybody wins here. This is an amazing back and forth venture.
Yeah.
Here's one of the things that we run into on a regular basis, Catherine, just thought might be a good place is that we try something for a very short period of time and we don't see immediate results. So we think, it doesn't work. And guess what? These are the things that you have to be consistent on and do it for a long term. Don't just try this for a month. Try it over the next year and see what it brings.
And see who you can partner with, because you get some great partners. We, for years and years and years, partnered with a local restaurant at Christmas. And basically, we switched gift cards. And we gave them $25 gift cards and out to their clients. And they gave us $25 gift cards to give as a thank you to our top clients. It was very, very, very successful. And our clients, any of you give somebody something and say, thank you so much for being such a great client. I just want to give you a $25 voucher to go to blah, blah, blah restaurant. And as a sign of our appreciation. Well, guess what? We got so much leverage from that. It was great. And the restaurant owner was really, really happy with it. So, again,
think outside the box.
Thinking outside the box. So here's some other ones that we've dealt with. Jewelry stores, car dealerships.
I know. Who would think it, right?
But
it's incredibly effective.
So we decided to partner with a car dealership, and it was higher end cars, and we gave them a $100 gift voucher to give out to people that were buying, it was a Range Rover, or one of those higher end cars, and because we wanted that client.
Exactly, that was your target market.
Yeah, that was our target market, and we did that for quite a while, and that yielded us some really, really, really great clients.
I'm not at all surprised.
You're going to get people that will come in, use the gift certificate, you'll never see them again. But all it takes is one or two people spending $1,000 or more dollars a year.
And you've more than paid for it.
Absolutely.
More than it. In fact, you've got a fantastic return on your investment.
Yeah. And we still today have a cross promotion with the real estate agent. Now, the real estate agent has been one of our great clients for years and years, but she works specifically in the area around our salon and spa in Winnipeg. And we give her gift vouchers that she gives. She pays off the gift voucher. So if it's a $200 gift voucher, she pays $100 and we give her $100 and she gives it out to the people that have moved to the area.
Right. For her client. It's an incredible thank you gift to her clients. And it's fantastic because it's saving her half the price. She looks fantastic to her new clients. They are grateful and remember her when they're ready to move on. I mean, it's just such a win-win situation.
Yeah. So joint ventures are a very effective, very inexpensive way of getting your business up there. Again, anyone can do this. You just have to put yourself out there to find the places to do it with.
Yep, just put on your thinking cap and get your imagination going, because the sky's the limit on this one.
Yes, it is, truly. Okay, moving on up. Oh, my clicker's not clicking. There we go. So, networking. You know, it's not just one thing. It's all of these things here. You know, events, communication, internet, people, groups, all of the things you see on here, presentations, blogging, so many things. It would take us, we could probably be on here for like 2 hours blabbing away about all the different things you can do. But my key point here is you have to get out and network.
Right. Do not rely on your parking lot to have people coming in all the time. You've got to go out and get them.
Here.
Okay, this is our favorite things in the whole world, referrals, because this has got to be the most effective form of marketing that there is, because in the end, referrals are about word of mouth.
Yeah, and word of mouth it's a very effective way to bring in new clients. I like to say they almost come in as a qualified prospect.
Exactly.
Because they have been referred from someone who already loves you.
Yeah, so they are already halfway to loving you because, you know, Susie down the street loved you. So it's fantastic.
So how many people listening have a referral program in place that they use consistently?
Not the whole, come on you guys, it's not the one, well, we tried that once for a month and it didn't work. Again, referrals are something that you must be doing forever. Forever.
Yeah, people are shy. No, but we don't, but we'd love one in place.
Well, terrific. That's
Amanda, you absolutely need to implement it. And simple, make it simple. Here's what we do. We give out $25 gift vouchers to the client who refers, and we give a $25 voucher for the client to come in to try us for the first time. So that's $50. We're spending $50.
Now, let's just cut for a sec, Kath, because I want to make sure everyone understands that the client gets $25 after the client has come in.
Yes, after the client has come in. But here, we take it one step further. We give out referral cards to our clients. And we know the clients that love us, like the top 20% of your clients, more people like them. So I'm really going to focus to get them referring for us. So here's what we do. We know they like us. We give them 5 referral cards or 10, whatever you want to do, let's say 5. And we'll say, here you go. Here's 5 referral cards for you. That's $150 in 125. My brain's not working. $125 in service, free service for you when each one of these come receive $25.
Yeah.
And then, you know, it lumps it makes it a bit more, and people really, really like that. So they hand them out to their friends. As soon as the card comes back in, we send out a note saying, thank you so much for your referral. You have $25 in service waiting for you at the salon.
And you know, what a great way. Again, okay, so in the end, it costs now $50 to bring in a new client, but that's almost half the price of the industry average to bring in a new client. So again, we're beating the odds here, people.
Yeah. And it's, you know, it's just such a powerful thing. And you can do referral contests, which we hold once in a while. Every year, we do it on a yearly basis for sure. But
and actually, you know, to be honest, Kath, I think that referral contests are actually a great way for a salon that hasn't done a really good referral program to get started. Because once they see how powerful the referral contests are, then you just make a referral program and stick to it.
But here's the thing I see happening. You know, people start out, oh yeah, that's great. Their staff doesn't really understand it. They're not behind it. We all have tunnel vision. So all we see is the $25 that I have to give off to the client that's coming in, and $25 that I have to give to my client who referred. They don't see the long-term value.
And that's what we really want to stress is long-term value. Just what Catherine said earlier. If we end up getting one new client who ends up spending, say, $1,000 a year with us, that $50 it costs you to bring that person in, it's small potatoes. So you have to start thinking about the value of having a dedicated client that's coming to you over and over again.
Yeah. And I'm going to back up because it just dawned on me. We give away $20, not $25 for our referral program.
Well, even cheaper, for goodness sake.
So $20 for our referral program. But again, contest. You can, you know, Queen of Referral contest. So you put a promotion together, and the person that sends the most referrals in 6 months can win, you know, $500 in services.
That's a great idea.
Whatever, you know, like
I would be out there promoting my.
I know you would.
And do you know how many stylists I have gone to over the last 25 or so years after working in the beauty industry? Because I've been trying to, you know, spread out my business and go around and see people. Not once have I been offered a referral card. Not once.
And you know, in talking about Aileen and I setting up a new business, and our business venture is Trichology, hair loss replacement and hair loss solutions, which is very different. We don't have many people here that do that. So we're not a salon. We strictly do hair loss solutions and hair loss prevention. So we have put together a referral program for salons, and we are getting referrals from salons. And we went to salons because if you look at the line that says Maven Marketing.
Right. Let's take a look at what Maven Marketing can do for you. And in a way, you touched on it earlier, Kath, when we were talking about networking. And for example, real estate agents or whatever. You find a business that caters to people you want as clients. Right?
Absolutely.
So that way you cater to the business. They actually end up doing the marketing for you.
Yeah. So who is it that you can find that you can link up with that could be your Maven marketing person?
Right. And one of the most important ones for our new business venture are salons themselves. So we've put together a beautiful package in a portfolio telling salons exactly what it is that we do, how we can assist them with their clients, etc., and have gone around and dropped it off to almost every single salon in town now, and we cannot believe how successful that is. Because rather than having to reach out to every single consumer on the street, we're allowing the salons to market for us, to find us the clients.
Yeah, and I mean, it's so simple for anybody to do that. So spas, for instance, if you have someone in your spa who specializes in a specific area, then you want to figure out where. So let's say you have somebody that does oncology aesthetics. You want to find out where you can go to target those people who are going through oncology treatments. That would be one of your mavens that you would look for. You know, if you're into anti-aging, then again, you would target a specific market, figure out where it is that they're going so you can go find them, and then you can go court the business that they're going to and get them to refer to you.
Exactly. So really think about what it is that your specialty is. So it's as creative as you want it to be. You know, like, I mean, I even love the idea that, you know, if you put on the best pedicure in the world, go around and talk to all the shoe stores in town, right? You know, they're looking at feet all day long.
Yeah,
right.
This is true. So if you don't have a referral program in place, it is a really efficient, inexpensive way to get new people through the door. And as I said, those people that are coming through the door are already a better, you know, the chances are you're going to keep them because they already come referred from a friend. So it's almost like you have a relationship established with them. They're not a brand spanking new relationship, even though it might be the first time you're meeting them. They've heard about you, and that's what you want to do. So get on it, get that referral going. Amanda, if you need any more information about referral programs, you can always email us at the end, and we'd be happy to send that out for you.
You got it. Next.
Social media. So again, what is social media all about? It's about building relationships.
Education.
It's about educating your clients, and on social media.
It's about fun.
Yeah, it's about fun, and you can do contests, auctions, promotions on social media. But don't do that until you've built relationships and you've done some education.
Exactly, because you need to know what it is that you're doing. Like, why are you doing social media? What's it for? Because there is a reason. There is definitely a business development that you have to understand about using social media. It isn't just although it's a great place to post pretty pictures, that's not necessarily the point of why you're building it.
No, and if you go on there and are just bombarding people with special promotions, they'll just stop following you. You know, you need to put interesting things up there. And it's been interesting because our own foray into new business, we built, a couple of hundred followers in a short period of time. We've done some Facebook ads. We've had some people come through there. But again, I think most of the people that have come through our doors have come from a couple of other venues that we have done. The networking that we've done, and we did a health show and a women's show.
Yeah, in fact, we haven't even talked about trade shows.
No, we have not.
And I think that is just such a huge thing. When we'll have to add that into our slide for the next time we do this presentation, because trade shows are incredibly effective. And when we went to do the women's show locally, there was only one salon there promoting their products, and they were very busy. It was really amazing actually to see how great that they were doing there. So and talk about having an opportunity to show their wares, and what they're all about. It was fantastic. But again, we're not seeing the salons out there. And here's the thing: is if you're going to do a trade show, please don't think that you're just going to put up a booth and a table and do hair or whatever. You have to really think, why are we at this trade show? What is it that we want to get out of this?
Yeah. And we actually have on another webinar, we have talked about this at length, and that is Events That Make Money, I believe, is the title of that. So you can go and check that out. That really wasn't, it was just a segue into something other. But again, so everybody does social media, but I do think we're all a bit under with it. So build relationships, use it to build relationships, use it to educate your clients, have some fun contests, maybe an auction, and then throw in a promotion every once in a while, but don't bombard them with
just with promotions. And one of the things about Facebook too is they do lots and lots of tutorials, so you can find out how to do it right. They'll show you the way.
Yeah, that's so true. And the one thing is, if you're gonna be on social media, don't do one post a week. It doesn't work. You have to be fairly consistent with it.
Yeah, and it isn't just Facebook either. I mean, really take a look at all the different venues that are out there. And one of the things that we have definitely found is that in however all these cyberspace works, that in the end, the more you are like on Twitter, LinkedIn, Pinterest, Instagram, all these things, they all end up linking in the back somehow and bring more interest to your spot. So
absolutely. And again, it's just one area. Don't spend all your time doing this. I would rather you spend a little time doing this, but get out of your space.
You got it. Like,
you can't live online because it's not going to be effective for you. Not in the local market so much. Okay, so I like to talk about videos because I really think we don't utilize them to their fullest.
No.
And I really think that, you know, the majority of us all have smartphones now, and right at your fingertips, you have a promotion tool that we need to take advantage of. So videos, just simply do some how-tos, like if you're doing a braid.
Yeah,
you know,
and boy, have I ever been seeing a lot of braid videos on Facebook lately. Obviously, it's a hot trend right now.
Yeah.
And why not have it on your face?
Yeah. You know, do a little training class. Keep it short.
Yep. 3
minutes. One thing that Eminence does every Monday is they do Monday Mixology Monday.
What's Eminence, Kath? Maybe a lot of people don't know.
Eminence is a skincare company. They do Mixology Monday, so they teach people how to mix things together and what they're for, and it's short, sweet, and very effective. They get lots of views on that. And here's where I think we could utilize our videos really well. Client testimonials.
Here.
You know, if a client is really happy with you, say, can I take 1 minute for you just to say what you just told me on a video? And sometimes they go, oh, I'm not very good on camera. Just say, all you have to do is just say exactly what you just said to me, and I would love that. And, you know, most of them are happy to help you.
And it's so easy to do. So you just use your phone and then you post it. It's amazing. And the other one that I love too is the before and afters.
Yeah.
You know, clients who let you do before and after, and I see lots of posts before and afters because people love before and after. It is a hugely popular way to show off your business and your skills.
Absolutely. And really, even if you have a website, put it up in the header of your website, a slider. Do some before and afters in the slider. I mean, it just works.
It sure does.
The thing is, video can show fun times in the salon.
Honestly, think about, you know, if you've got a little staff event going on or whatever. People, again, like to do people they have a relationship with. And when they see the interconnection between people, it's part of the relationship building.
So fun is always good. Clients love fun. I think we sometimes lose that.
We do. We get too earnest sometimes.
Really? Earnest. That was a good word.
Don't you think?
So, you know, these are all ways that are right at your fingertips that we can absolutely market to people for very, very, very little money. Aileen and I did it for a long, long time. We were early adopters of video.
No kidding.
And, you know, every week we did a short video about something.
Yeah, and it was only, you know, people have a fairly short attention span, so you want it somewhere between 1.5 minutes, 3 minutes tops. It doesn't have to be long, because if it's any longer, people, they've moved on before you can do it. So something really, really short and sweet. And honestly, if you check out our webpage and go to our YouTube channel, there's lots and lots of information on there through video.
Yeah, so short and sweet. But the big thing in wrapping up this segment about networking is, please get out of your space, because nothing changes if nothing changes. And if you have room to take on more clients, then you need to get out and network yourself.
And bring them in. And let's face it, you know, from everything that Kath and I have been talking about today, there's probably very few other salons, spas, or stylists or estheticians out there doing this kind of networking. So for a lot of the times you're going to be the only one doing it. So get ahead of the crowd and get out there. You know, everywhere we go, we hear people talking about a shortage of clients in the chairs.
Yep.
Clients are going longer and longer between visits.
So we need more clients.
We need more clients, and here's an incredible way to go out and do that. And you get to build relationships, you meet people. It's a lot of fun, actually.
And you build relationships, but in those relationships, you get other people to do your work for you because they are talking about you. And especially in the business community and in these networking communities, they are all about sending people to you. I can't tell you how many people just from some of the connections we've made in the last couple of months have walked through our door.
No kidding. And even better, Kaz, is almost every single one that's come in has also said, I want to bring my husband back, my boyfriend back, or my daughter back, or whatever it is. They are bringing other people with them. So we're absolutely thrilled with the results that we've gotten from networking. We are not going to sit back and wait for our business to be successful. We're going to go out there and we're going to make it successful.
And that's our message to you. Get out.
Get out, get out, and
have some fun.
You got it. And here we are. We are www.theprofitablesalonowner.com. And as probably most of you know, Catherine and I have also written a business success program that is available on our website. It is called 7 Essential Strategies to transform your salon business. Oh my goodness. Talk about a blonde moment. And we are always at the end of an email, info@theprofitablesalonowner.com. So I know that Vagaro is going to put this up on Facebook so you can look at it again. And but if you need some specific information, send us a note. We will be happy to help. And also don't forget that we also send out a weekly newsletter that is absolutely free. So if you go onto our website, you can find it on the right-hand side of that website. Sign up. And every week, free advice, free information, free.
And thank you for being on this webinar. It is always our pleasure.
Yeah, and what are we doing next month, Kath?
And next month, I think what we're looking at doing is talking about consumer behavior.
Oh, yeah, I think you'll find this extremely interesting. You know, how can you turn consumer behaviors and your knowledge of it into success for your own business?
All right. Well, thank you very much. We always love your feedback. So please send us your feedback.
Thanks, everybody. Thanks, Amanda.
Take care, everyone.
Bye.